Chapter 40. Ria didn't tell her mother why she did what she did. She apologized profusely. Her tears overtook her explanation. And Sarita was too shocked to ask questions that evening. As she told her friends that it was her daughter who had set off the unfortunate chain of events, she wondered if it was indirectly she herself who was responsible for her son lying in the ICU. She wondered where she had gone wrong with Ria. But as a mother, she needed to protect her daughter. So when her friends asked her questions, she only said, "I don't know. She was mumbling something about her and Diya having a squabble, and that she wanted Diya to learn a lesson, something. I don't know really. I'm sorry on her behalf for what it's done to you. I never meant for this to happen." Her chest was about to burst. Natasha was sorry about her own child too. "I'm going to slap Diya when I get back home." A chill black silence surrounded them. Finally, Geeta surprised everyone by saying, "Maybe I should thank Ria." Everyone looked at her with incredible surprise. The tension between them began to melt. She nodded at them. "I was living a lie for so long, unhappy with my life and unable to find a voice. Finally, I could do something for myself and my children. I've moved in with Sahil. Shailesh kicked me out, but I'm finally free. I can be with Sahil openly now. I know it's going to be a long process, but I'm finally with a man who loves me, who supports me, who gives me confidence instead of taking it away." A thoughtful smile formed on her lips as she recollected how he had made space in his house, his heart, and his life for the three of them. Geeta and her daughters had felt more at home in his small apartment than they ever had in Shailesh's big one. Geeta had never felt more optimistic about the future. Sarita took Geeta's hand. "This must be really tough for you." Geeta had never been a woman who had taken a stand on anything. Seeing her blossom from a scared housewife to a budding entrepreneur was a revelation. Sometimes the support of someone who loves you does give you wings to fly. And when you find that, there is no need to define the equation. True love is what it is. Geeta nodded. "It is. My parents are shocked and have refused to talk to me. My in-laws don't talk to Sahil. Shailesh and he had a big showdown, and Sahil has a bruise because of that. But the bruises in our life will be deeper. We've probably lost our families, we'll never speak to each other or us again. But if we can't live our life without the fear of being judged, then we haven't lived a full life at all." "So true," Aarti said. "But what about the girls?" Geeta's eyes lit up at the thought of her children. "You won't believe it, but it was their idea. They wanted to be with their Sahil Chacha more than their father. I wouldn't have been able to take this decision if it hadn't been for them." "That's wonderful, Geeta," Natasha said. "I'm so proud of you." She thought it was a good time to tell them too. "Guys, I'm moving out of the building." They were shocked. Sarita didn't ask why. Maybe she had forgiven Natasha, but it was probably a correct decision on her part to stay away from Rahul. Natasha continued. "Vikram is getting therapy, but this is his house. I don't want to get into property disputes. He's going to give me a divorce and alimony. With that, I'll support myself and Diya. I've decided to put her in a boarding school for now. God knows I've tried my best with her, but maybe I need some extra help in raising her, and this distance will do our relationship some good." Aarti nodded. "This is a wise decision, Nats." "Thank you. It's so difficult, though," she replied, as she felt a flicker of apprehension. New beginnings are as difficult as endings, but they come with hope and great excitement, while endings just come with a bag of memories. Geeta took Natasha's hand and squeezed it tight. "What about us?" Sarita asked. "Is this the end?" Do we go away with a bag of good memories? Natasha hugged Sarita. Sorry. I'm sorry about Rahul. Stop, Sarita said. I've been blaming you for so long and haven't looked at his point of view at all. I've just thought he was a boy, but he's not. I wanted to be his mother so hard that I forgot to see he had become a man. This wouldn't have happened if he didn't want it. He's taken these decisions. I get it now. Natasha felt as if a rock had been lifted from her chest. The fact that her friend had forgiven her felt more liberating than taking the bold decision to leave Vikram. It was a release that Natasha needed. Thank you, Sarita, Natasha said. That means so much to me. You have no idea. Soft tears rolled down her cheeks. She cleared her throat. I need to ask you one more favor, Sarita. Sarita nodded. Natasha continued. When he comes home, Sarita looked up to say that her child was lying in the ICU and might never come home, but Natasha was sure that he would prevail. He will. And when he does, listen to his dreams and help him follow it. Don't let your dreams become his. You can't live your life through your children. They're separate human beings whom you can only cherish and nurture to fly. Sarita understood. She could not turn away from him anymore, simply feeding him or controlling him. She had given whatever values she needed to, and now she had to start becoming his friend and helping him. Aarti cleared her throat. Amit and I have separated. Why? Geeta asked. Because I need some space from him for a while. I've done my duty for so long, being the perfect wife and mother. But it can't remain if he doesn't get help. I can't live with the fact that my husband is impotent any longer. I will help him when he wants to help himself. I'll take him to the doctors. But it needs to come from him. All this while, I felt like I was living in a pressure cooker ready to burst. All my emotions suppressed deep inside, building up over the years because I wasn't allowed to say anything. It was my fault. I should have done or said something long time back, but I wanted to prove what a good wife I was, or a good daughter-in-law, so everyone would be proud of me. And all I did was deny myself a chance to live completely. So you're still friends? Geeta asked, not seeing the resemblance with her own situation. Sort of, Aarti said. Not completely. Things always change when you stop pretending. An expectation dies. While it gives you relief in some ways, it brings new forms of sorrow. I'm still going to be in the same building. My in-laws were surprised and disappointed, and I think the backlash will come later. But for now, they haven't said anything. Aryan will stay with me at night, but spend time in the day there with his father and grandparents. I will spend as much time with him as I did before. I just won't pretend that this is a happy marriage any longer. Natasha said, I'm proud of you, Aarti. That was a bold decision. She could have spoken for everyone. Aarti surprised herself with the sense of fulfillment that came over her. It was an awakening experience that left her reeling, and the conversation with her friends gave her tremendous courage. If she had even a flicker of doubt before, it vanished as she spoke truthfully and confidently to her friends. They strengthened her resolve and confirmed her choices. The love and support from her friends was exactly what she needed. I'll help you, Aarti, with whatever you need, Sarita said. We'll all help each other, no matter where we are, said Natasha. Hey, we're the lovely ladies. It was the lightest they had felt since rushing to the hospital with Sarita. The lightest, perhaps in a long time. I think we should change our names to Strong Sisters, Geeta said. They all laughed. Look, guys, Sarita said, as she directed their vision to the window looking outside. It was dawn. Slivers of warm, pink light streamed through the curtain. Sarita looked around and saw that the three women who had been with her throughout her terrible time of tragedy were the most solid friends she could have, and no family member could ever take their place. As Aarti came back with a second round of coffee and some fresh sandwiches from the deli, the girls sat quietly reflecting in the night all that had passed. They mused on their private memories of the past, and their heads swam with thoughts about their future. They knew that from that day on they would no longer just be simple housewives. They would be women who did right for themselves, first of all. Mrs. Gidwani? The nurse came out to speak to Sarita. All the girls got up and held her tightly. The shadows deepened under Sarita's eyes as her whole body was engulfed in tides of weariness and despair. Sarita nodded. "That's me." Her throat was suddenly dry. The nurse smiled. "Rahul has woken up. He's going to be fine. Would you like to see him?" Sarita blinked back her tears of relief. The girls shouted with a loud cheer. They embraced Sarita, their happiness reaching the depths of her heart and flowing with her own joy. Sarita then let go of her best friends and followed the nurse to see her son. She felt a warm glow flow through her. She would take the teachings of this night and become a better mother to Rahul and Riya. She knew that the memory of this night would never leave her, and from this moment on, their friendship was stronger than ever.